So guys, as you all know, the counseling for NEET PG 2021 is just around the corner and many people were having a lot of doubt regarding it, especially what branch to take, what college to take and what not. So we decided to make a video with an expert so that all your doubt get cleared. Hi everyone, I am Dr. Shivang
And I'm Dr. Kanika.
and welcome back to
Dr. Duo. So today we have a guest with us who is a CEO of DBMCI and has been featured in Forbes magazine, Fortune magazine and Business Today magazine, and has also recently given a speech in TEDx. He's none other than Nachiket Bhatia, and we are so happy to have you over here.
Hi, thank you so much, Kanika and Shivang, for having me here. It's a pleasure.
Okay, so today's topic is counseling, and I think you would be the best expert to guide the students regarding counseling. So let's begin with the questions which we have collected over the time, what people and students wanted us to answer. So let's begin with the first question.
Well, the first question is very basic. It's like people are very confused whether they want to opt MS or want to go towards the MD side. So what are your opinion about that? What should be the factors which person should consider before choosing MS or MD?
I think, Shivang, you being a surgeon, you know that there's a word called in surgery as haathi khujli. So I think that if you're looking for an MS field, you need to have that particular instinct in you. Because being a surgeon, it is a different world altogether. Okay, I have talked to many people who have gone into their field. Some people who are very happy, some people who are regretting the choice because yes, the hours are hectic, the dedication is like 110% it is required, and that particular patient interaction is actually missing somehow. But when people go to medicine fields, yes, they love that patient interaction. They want to sit in OPDs, they want to interact with as many people as possible, and they have their own way of thinking. So instead of asking me what a student needs to do, I think a student needs to reflect in themselves. They have gone through the internship, they have gone through all the various branches, the various streams, and they should understand themselves by now, that which field they are going to do. So please do not choose the field because of peer pressure or because of just the name tag. No, that name tag is not going to keep you happy. You have to actually perform that feat well in order to become successful in life. So remember your internship days, remember how you felt while interacting to a patient or while assisting a surgeon during the surgery, and what made you the happiest. So the only parameter that you need to choose between these two branches is the field that made you happy. Then go for that.
Right. True, that is true. I feel एक और चीज़ भी है, in surgeons there is a born adrenaline rush that they cannot just sit in the OPD for longer hours. They want to be in a part of OT और अपने operations करना, surgery करना, मतलब वो एक feeling ही अलग होती है इन सब की. So
Exactly.
the next question is कि there are people who are still feeling कि DNB is inferior to MD or MS, and they do not just want to take DNB. So what are your point of view on this?
So actually, it's a biggest myth right now that MDMS are somehow superior than DNB. But let me tell you that very frankly, I know many hospital owners, nursing home owners, and they are preferring DNB over MDMS. Why? Because they know DNB knows the practical work truthfully. They are not having any guide to pass their MD examination, and somehow that particular factor is going for the DNB part. And to be very frank, I have seen DNBs, I have seen MDMS, and now when they go forward, both have their own status, and nowhere DNB is inferior to MDMS. So please take this particular myth out. And what I believe that if you have a choice between MD government, DNB government, this is the tough choice. Choose MD government first. Let's go with the peer pressure kind of thing. Then DNB government, and absolutely over MD private seat. DNB government seat, absolutely over MD private seat.
And what about MS versus DNB?
Same goes for the same thing. They are both equivalent. If you are getting a good government seat in DNB above a private seat in MS in a private college, choose DNB with your eyes closed. You will get a lot of experience, and you have to study for 3 years. There is nobody to guide you, there is nobody to mentor you, and when you pass that exam, in a foreign territory in front of someone who doesn't have any clue about you. You are actually the passing the exam because of your knowledge, because of your skills, and nowhere. And you have got various stations, and nobody even knows what is there in the station. So when you actually get into that station, the only thing that you have is your knowledge and skill. Whereas, as you very well know, you have a mentor to guide you who has seen you for the last 3 years in that MBA or MS examination. And yes, you already have a perception in front of you. If you study for the last 3 months, that 3-year perception is not going to change. So, in MDMS, that particular factor is there, but DNB, it is pure knowledge and skill. So, if you're thinking about MS again, it's totally at par.
And I think many students avoid DNB because of that passing rate. They say that the passing rate is actually very low, so they have aversion towards it.
I think that after the new DNB rules, and also if I look at the last year result, the DNB passing rate has been improved. It has actually improved, and the new rules have also given some kind of a leverage to the DNB students. So what I believe that yes, this particular factor you can say is a bit of a con of the DNB seat, but looking at the practical work and the exposure that you are getting, I think it should be something that can be managed.
Right. I agree with that. So another question is what should you prefer? A branch of your choice in a very peripheral college, or a different branch in a very good central institute or some other college?
What I believe that again, after talking to many students, many professors, that a college is like that when you enter into a club and you know the club owner. You can get into inside the club, but you need to dance to get everybody's attention, and that dance needs to be fabulous. That particular college, that central institute, that will remain with you for the next 3 years, and a couple of years later, people will recognize you, okay, that you are from AIMS, you will be given preference, yes. But you need to love the branch to give it to 100%. If you do not love the branch, you will never get up your ass and start doing something which nobody else is doing. And unless you do that kind of thing, nobody is going to recognize you, nobody is going to come and give you a job. Yes, this is the person that I was looking for. So if you love that branch, you will do, day and night you are going to work on that branch, you are going to explore new fields, new avenues, and people will come look into you because you are so skillful, you are so talented in that particular branch. And that thing is what that makes a person successful. I remember when my father, when he started teaching, when he moved from medicine to teaching, even today he is studying all the time. I wake up at 2 o'clock in the night and he's studying. And when I see that kind of passion, then I can imagine, okay, that this is how he must have started his things. When students came to him, because he knew how to teach absolutely fantastic. So whatever you do in life, not just a branch, whatever you do in life, you need to do it with so much passion. And only then people are going to come to you, maybe offer you money, offer you avenues, offer you new recognitions. But for that, you need to love the branch. So any day, go choose branch over college. Branch is going to stay with you throughout life. Choose a branch.
I remember, I don't know if you remember or not, but when I wanted derma so badly and I wasn't getting it in North India, so I was also ready to go to Bihar side to get derma. So it was like कि इतना desperation था कि मुझे अपनी branch ही चाहिए. So I think definitely branch is most important. If I feel that अगर मैंने branch derma की जगह कोई और अभी ले ली होती तो I would have been cribbing and regretting that decision all my life. So okay, the next question is that about dropping and about a peripheral college. I've seen people not choosing a different branch but choosing to drop. Again, what do you think? A branch is more important, like getting into a government college, any kind of branch, maybe clinical only, or dropping because you did not get your dream branch?
Yeah, see, Kanika, if I talk about you also, when you got a seat, you were very happy, but that particular Patna college was there. So, if a student like you, the way you were dedicated, would have wanted, I want to get into a Delhi college, or I want to get into a central institute, and I want derma only, then I would have pushed you to yes, go for it, because you had the caliber to do it. So it is a very subjective matter whether to drop or whether to take a branch in a peripheral college. But if you plan to drop and if you want to pursue your dreams, you have my approval on that, because I am a person who did that thing particularly, so I am always in favor of that. I do not like to compromise, and I believe in that. If you have a vision, you just have to work hard to get there. And if you are willing to do that, why not go for it? 10 years later, you do not need to go. I mean, it is just 6 months you need PG 2022. So for just 6 months, and when 10 years later you look back and you think क्या काश वो 6 महीने कर दिए होते, वो that particular regret should not be there. So if a student is planning to drop and pursue for a better college, maybe a better branch, I believe that they should go for it. But again, the disclaimer is you have to work very very hard. Not just कि हाँ यार कर दिया बस तो कर दिया, उस एटीट्यूड में तो अगर है, अगेन सब्जेक्टिव मैंने क्यों कहा, बिकॉज इफ यू थिंक दैट ऐसे ही हूं मैं, अभी ब्रांच उठा लो, इट्स बेटर टू हैव द बर्ड इन हैंड रेदर देन टू इन द बुश. सो इट्स अ वेरी सब्जेक्टिव चॉइस.
Okay. So what about non-clinical branches? Like people try to avoid non-clinical branches क्योंकि उसका I think reputation ही ऐसा बन चुका है. But what if you have genuine interest in that?
I think they should go for it. But again, you have to see, one thing that is going to keep repeating in the whole session is that you have to love the branch. But if I talk about Patho has a lot of, it has now an opportunity in NEET SS as well. It has a lot of opportunity in the lab section. You can very well practice in teaching, of course. So if I just talk about pathology, you have these kind of things. Pharmacology, again, people are going crazy over pharmaceutical companies. So why not try for that? Physiology, anatomy, yes, you have a very good teaching career right now. Just in coaching institute, I can tell you that the demand for anatomy and physiology, biochemistry even is a lot. Biochemistry can try for WHO, gene, the exchange and everything that is going on, the gene research and everything. So why not try for that? So every branch has its pros and cons. But if you look as a particular phase as a doctor, yes, medicine surgery has their own reputation. You know that dermatologist sitting with me, a surgeon is sitting with me. That reputation is particularly there. But if you go for a pre and paraclinical branch, you have to find your own avenues, which are a lot. And many a times you can also plan to go abroad, because yes, there are a lot of more opportunities over there. But please, if you are interested in that, don't let the peer pressure guide your decision. Do what your heart says.
I remember in the last time when we had the counseling, there was a person who scored much better rank than me but took biochemistry as the branch. Again, a very shocking decision, but then I feel that was his or her dream branch. But then with that, a new doubt comes in everyone's head is about the money. Definitely, no matter what, when you are taking a branch and you choose to have this profession, the main thought is about the money. Like, will you earn enough that you can support a family, or like you can have your needs fulfilled? So what do you think, that is the money major barrier while choosing any branch?
I have seen a student asking a general question, does radiology give lot of money? I want to see a radiologist who hasn't worked hard and he getting money. You guys can see yourself that how much you have worked hard to get where you are, and even after this, how hard you are going to work to get that kind of money. So everybody sees that a surgeon or a dermatologist getting money, but they don't see the hard work behind it. So even if you are taking anatomy, if you are a hardworking guy, you can get a very good, you have very good avenues to explore. Even in teaching colleges, yes, if you go by the standard rules, yes, the standard rules, the pay is a bit less, but if you are interested in more areas, then the researchers, the companies, yes, they are going to hire you at a very good price. So think like that. Don't put it a generic statement, yes, that radiology में बहुत सारा पैसा है और anatomy बिल्कुल पैसा नहीं है. ऐसा बिल्कुल भी नहीं है. I have an anatomy faculty who I can doubt for is an amazing person, and the one person students die to learn from. So looking at that person, I can very well say that with Dr. Ashwini, I can very well say that, and he is wholeheartedly dedicated to anatomy. Again, the Dr. Bhatia kind of passion, पूरा time वो anatomy में ही रहते हैं. So that is why he has explored the avenues in anatomy when nobody else could. So everybody to his own.
What about
Yes, please
and
go
what
ahead.
about this setup? Like, people do not choose radiology, or maybe I have seen people asking me about derma also, because we have lasers involved, which are expensive things. So people do not take this because they feel that the setup is very expensive. So what about that then?
Yes, the setup is expensive. Right now, what I'm talking about is basically a job kind of statement. but the setup is expensive. But for actually going into the setup, I believe that the doctor should be having a business acumen. If they are not, then just putting that money on the setup can actually turn out to be a very big loss. And for the business acumen, they should try to maybe learn through some management kind of courses, or start small and then grow big. Alright, but yes, going with patho labs, derma clinics or radiology labs, yes, the expense part is there.
Very well
That
said.
cannot.
Another thing is like people think like particularly in MS surgery, like once they opt for it, they're gonna have a very hectic lifestyle afterwards, and they'll have to continue their education, they have to do MCH. So should this be a barrier from taking up surgery even if they're passion? Because होता है कि बस मुझे आगे बहुत मेहनत नहीं करनी है यार और पढ़ाई और नहीं करनी है. So they actually don't take surgery and opt for another branch because of this factor.
Yes, I believe that's a very good factor to take in while making a decision. Whether it's medicine or whether it's surgery. See, super specialty is right now a need, a must need in metropolitans. And I believe in the next 5 years, it will be a must need in second tier cities as well. I mean, in our city, in Delhi, but my maid actually went to an endocrinologist rather than just a pure general medicine guy. And she knew this word. So that was, and this happened last year in 2020. So she had some problems. So she told me that मैं इस पे जाऊंगी, endo पे जाऊंगी. So that is a level of exposure that metropolitan people are having, and that is why general medicine will soon be a lost cause, and people will go directly to a SS guy. The same thing needs to be taken while choosing a field. If you are not ready for MCH or DM, then there is no point taking in MSN I'm sorry, medicinal surgery. Because 5 years later on, you will be nowhere amongst your peers, and that particular lack of skill will be killing you. So it's better to choose an end branch. And trust my word on that, within the next 5 years, there will be no such thing called an end branch. Even with subjects like derma, you will have to go for fellowships to compete amongst the people that you are living with.
Right.
So that is the thing that people need to take care of.
So what is your take on private medical colleges for MD or MS?
Especially for those who have taken multiple drops and now they have kind of given up कि यार अब गवर्नमेंट नहीं क्रैक हो रहा है. They have already given 2-3 attempts, but now they can afford private colleges. So I mean, is it a good take?
See, Shivang, I will say the private colleges are divided like 50-50 between bad colleges and good colleges. Okay, let's not categorize them totally into bad colleges that बिल्कुल patient load नहीं है, बिल्कुल खाली रहते हैं OPD, ऐसा नहीं है. ठीक है ना? I have seen private colleges and I can very well first say that yes, private colleges have their own kind of load. Yes, I will not compare directly to them with the government colleges, but yes, they have a decent load. And if a student wants to go, I mean, if a student who has got multiple drops and wants to take a private college seat, ठीक है ना? I believe that they should first go there and experience the college. As in, they can go into the hospitals, they can take a tour, they do not have to, I mean, कोई बहुत बड़ी बात नहीं होती इसके अंदर, and they can see कि ट्राइज में कितने पेशेंट भर्ती हो रखे हैं, OPDs में कितने पेशेंट आ रखे हैं. इससे एक आइडिया हो जाता है, yes, that this college has a decent patient load, and then yes, if they are willing to study, I believe private college has some very good teachers who can teach them very well, who can guide them very well, and that particular decision won't be a regret.
That is true. I feel there are a lot of colleges in South or even Manipal. All of these colleges are really renowned being a private college, and they have a good patient load. If I talk about peripheral government colleges, उनके comparison में बहुत better ही है इनका.
Exactly.
So, what do you think, the cutoff will drop now? Like this time, what the cutoff is actually high. So, will it drop because there are people who have just scored like 306 or 305? इतने से बस रह गए. तो cutoff होगी ना drop.
Yeah, I think looking at the last 2 years of experience, I can say that the cutoff will drop. But again, कोई surety नहीं है because our government is very unpredictable. रोज कोई नया रूल आ जाता है. So, but 2 साल से अगर हो रही है तो इस साल भी होनी चाहिए. That is all I can say.
Right. And what do you think about the trend of counselling this time? Will we see a positive shift because number of seats have been increased in each and every state? So will it be a positive trend this time? And also DNB counselling is going along with MD and MS. So
I think, Shivang, we are actually waiting for the seat matrix. because हमने भी हर साल प्लानिंग करते हैं इसकी. So we are actually waiting for the seat matrix to see how they have planned the whole kind of thing, because this is the first time, as you very well said, that the DNB is now going to be counseled with the NDMS. So let's see, but I do believe that yes, it will be a positive shift. That is for sure.
Right. Okay, what about the approach of students who want to take a drop? What should they do? I mean, how should they take up from here? Because hardly any time is left for the next NEET 2. So what should they do and what should be their strategy?
See, we have actually devised a parameter for that. Below 500 and above 500 score. So if you are below 500 score, that is 499 and less, that means that the basics are still not good. So until unless you cover your lacunas, you are not going to, how hard you work, you are not going to perform well in NEET PG 2 2022. It's as simple as that. Because you are going to do the same mistake again what you are doing right now. And if you are above 500, that means your basics are well. You just had some mishaps, some little lacunas, and if you are able to fill those, you will be able to crack the NEET PG 2022. So for people who have scored below 500, we recommend that you join regular batches where you learn the concepts again, then revise and then give the test. Only when you cover your basic lacunas, you are able to perform well in those 2022 exam. And for people who have crossed 500, you just need to revise your notes again. You need to have a own schedule. If you don't have a schedule, again, a very big letdown. So you should join a test and discussion batch where you have a test, you revise for the test, give the test, and then the discussion becomes your first revision. In this manner, you are not going to make your own notes. You are just going to add what we teach you in your present notes only, and you keep revising them again and again. So by the time you reach the NEET 2022, you will be having like 5 to 6 revisions, and for sure you are going to crack that exam. So that is my advice to each one of below 500 and above 500.
And also I feel that the exam is expected to take place in April, and according to that we just have 6 months left, so people can drop for 6 months. It's not even an entire 1 year to study, so people can get motivated by this fact. And also we have the INI-CT exam also coming very soon, so there are many ways people can drop and study again. So I think these are the major questions which people
Actually,
ask.
I like to add some things. See, for the people who are waiting for the counseling and they have a feeling that they are not going to score well or they are not going to get a good seat. See, waiting for the counseling at this point of time is not a good move. They should wait for the counseling, but they should start preparing as well.
Right.
Okay, because counseling is going to take for almost like 1 to 2 months. You know the whole procedure, guys, and it's a long time taking thing. But the NEET PG 2022, it is just 6 months away. So by the time you realize that you are not getting a good seat and you should start preparing again, it will be too late. Again, a loss of a year, and 23 it is going to be next. What is going to happen in next? Nobody knows. Nobody has an idea. It is a big gamble from the Indian government. So what I am recommending you is that please do not wait for the 23 exam. उसमें जो होगा पता नहीं भगवान देखेगा. But give everything on 22, and again we are going to give a refund to anybody who gets a seat. अगर सीट मिल गई तो पैसे वापस ले जाओ. So इसके लिए अच्छा है. Exactly. तो इसके लिए अच्छा है ना, ये हमने बनाया इसलिए है because we do not want the students to waste time. 3 महीने में हम भी ज्यादा नहीं कर पाएंगे, ठीक है ना, पढ़ना तुमको एंड में आके. So if you do not take that time out properly, if you do not plan properly, ये सीट भी हाथ से जाएगी और अगली सीट हाथ में आएगी नहीं. So plan it a little bit properly. Start preparing and keep waiting for the seat. Seat मिल गई, take a refund. नहीं मिली, so at least you are not wasting time for the preparation. And INI-CT के लिए, keep INI-CT as a station, not the destination. Start preparing. INI-CT पे दो, पेपर दो, ठीक है ना, and then keep preparing for 22. INI-CT हो गया, very well. नहीं हुआ, then keep preparing for 22. Because time बहुत कम है. इतने कम टाइम में अगर मल्टीपल डेस्टिनेशंस रखोगे तो किसी भी डेस्टिनेशन के लिए ढंग से तैयारी नहीं कर पाओगे. सो मेजर डेस्टिनेशन नीट, लिटिल स्टेशन INI-CT. दैट इज द वे यू शुड प्रिपेयर.
So now people do not have time to feel demotivated या अपना मूड स्विंग या रो हुए ना, है ना. 6 महीने हैं, पूरी अपनी एनर्जी डाल दो इसी में, पूरा प्रॉपर पढ़ाई
very
करो.
good scheme की सीट मिल गई तो रिफंड मिल जाएगा.
वही,
I think there is no harm in continuing with the coaching part.
Exactly. Even I saw this initiative, that is great. कि मतलब तुम ज्वाइन कर लो, सीट मिल गई तो यू गेट द रिफंड. पीपल डू नॉट इवन ज्वाइन विद दिस फियर ऑल्सो कि सीट मिल गई. सो इट्स लाइक यू आर नॉट वेस्टिंग टाइम ऑल्सो, यू आर डूइंग द कोचिंग ऑल्सो, एंड इवन यू आर गेटिंग द सीट. सो इट्स लाइक always
Win-win
you're
situation.
in benefit. Yeah. So I think all of the questions are answered. Any last words you want to give, sir?
If you have some dreams, follow those. 10 साल बाद रिग्रेट नहीं होना चाहिए वापस देख के कि काश ये कर लिया होता और काश जिंदगी कहीं और होती. अगर काश वर्ड रहेगा ना तो जिंदगी में परेशान रहोगे. Choose a branch that makes you happy. If you are happy, you are going to give your dedication, like you are going to give your 100%, and money is going to follow you. Don't choose a branch just because में पैसा है. किसी भी ब्रांच में पैसा नहीं होता और किसी भी ब्रांच में कम पैसा नहीं होता. पैसा सिर्फ तुम्हारी मेहनत पे होता है. अगर मेहनत करते रहोगे पैसा तुम्हारे पीछे भागेगा. So follow your dreams और कभी भी लाइफ में कॉम्प्रोमाइज मत करो. That's my last word, guys.
Thank you so much, sir. It was really great having you over here. We feel honored to have you over here. So I hope that all of people, all of these aspirants are happy about the talk and have felt some motivated. Fire ignite हुई है to study again if suppose they haven't cracked it or have been cleared with the concept of counseling. So we would have such more videos again. So till then, do not forget to like and share our video and also subscribe to our channel, and let's make this channel a very big success together, because
Why should non-medicals have all the fun?
bye everyone.
Bye guys.